Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and welcome to God's Chariot. This is the 2025 Cadillac CT5-V Blackwing, and we're changing it up a little bit because, sure, we've driven these cars and reviewed them before, not the 2025. I wanted to do a morning commute because I'm going to photograph this car for a friend who's going to be selling it on Bring a Trailer, and something tells me I'm going to want to make an offer on it before I'm done for the day. This has such a phenomenal suspension. We're driving through all the little bumps in these neighborhoods and it's fine. He has it the correct way with the manual 6-speed, and it's just so good. This is like having a midlife crisis car where you don't want anyone to know you're having a midlife crisis because it's just a Camaro ZL1. Got to let everything settle into this car because, oh my goodness, this is one of those cars where you're like, well, we're just gonna get arrested. It's so silly. It's so fast. And it's easy to drive. There's no like rev hang to speak of. It's a solid shift. It feels so good to hit that 1-2 hard. Very few cars let you do that, and that is beautiful because most cars, they're so like dainty and gentle. You get in a Honda, you get in a BMW, even sometimes Porsches, that 1-2 you want to be a little cautious with. It just doesn't feel nice to be mean to it. But in this, it feels like it's what it was built for. It's so easy to rev match this car. At least I think I'm rev matching it right now. I don't know what's turned on or off, but whatever. I'm giving it a bootful. This thing is the proper spiritual successor to the E39 M5, and I think that's why I like it so much, because this car is basically everything I want an E39 M5 to be in 2025. The new displays are pretty interesting. Let's see. I wonder if we can hit. There's some. See, this is a little nuts. That's a little silly. I don't need this kind of like mirrored tachometer thing. That's over the top for me. Okay, so I am doing the rev matching myself. Sometimes you get to test the waters a little bit and just find out. Torque is king, baby. Oh man, this has brightened my day. It's been a stressful week. There's a lot going on. And, you know, I quit my job a few years ago. You all know that. That's the easy story. Was a mechanical engineer doing the corporate thing. Got a little sick of it. Managed to find my way into a reasonably successful YouTube career, and that's fantastic. But you still got to make money, right? So you get out there, you end up finding yourself just creating your own little dungeon. So I've been trying to get out. Oh yes, let's go. That's great. Oh my goodness. You got to find ways to find joy. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, because I've still managed to work myself into my own little corporation, right? You will always just find a way to make work. Listen to this. But like, this is so enjoyable. And once in a while you have these moments where you're like, you know what? Life's okay. This is good. This is what I wanted. And this car really gives you that therapy. Do you need to spend $100 and something thousand to do it? I hope not, because, well, I don't want to do that. But there are cars out there that will just make you happy. This is one of them. Ooh, my seat's vibrating because that guy came up behind me, and it tells me that's not for me. HUD. Sport, Tour, Track. Just want it off. We'll figure that out later when we're stopped. I feel like there's too many nannies and like gimmicks and technology in new cars today that just make it so when you try to turn something off while you actually want it to be turned off, you're gonna crash the car to do it. It's like, how is this safer? How is that better? It's not better. We'll give these guys lots of room. They're cooking anyway, and we're not going to get very far. So we'll just wait until we can get around them from a not blind corner. That feels good. Oh, the suspension is just bonkers. It's so supple. It's so good. This is a weird track car that somehow you just bring the kids to soccer practice in. This is one of the easiest manual transmissions to drive too, because all these car companies, they're playing this game of like, yeah, well, you asked for a manual transmission, so we gave it to you. And then they give you like a bad manual transmission. Porsche 7-speeds, I just really have never really connected with. They don't do it for me. Whereas this does it for me. This is a good manual transmission. This is why we want manual transmissions. I think the Honda Civic Type R does a reasonable job at this as well. Look at that. Look at the Roadmaster up there. Oh my goodness. People driving wild stuff today. This is good. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, torque is good. All right, we got to take a look at this thing because this brings me joy. Oh, she's been driving that car since new. No question about that. Unnecessary downshift. Wow. Straight up beastly. Beastly. Oh, I would love to just have this. Oh, maybe I sell a couple cars and get this. Dude, it just like doesn't get better for a daily driver. I just can't fathom a more dynamically different car from comfort to sport than this. Like, it has such a range. You know, when we talk about cameras, if you're a camera geek, we talk about dynamic range. Like how dark can it shoot? How light can it shoot? If you take an image with shadows and highlights, can you then bring out both? And this car is like a camera with incredible dynamic range because it's a luxury car, but it's also like a straight up hooligan, and it's rear wheel drive, and it just doesn't pander to the nannies that are required in most sports cars today, where they're like, sure, we're gonna give you 700 horsepower, and the but is that like it's completely controlled by computers. And of course this has amazing traction control and all that good stuff, but it really doesn't have the insulting technology. We're gonna just slip in over here because we're gonna get off the highway, and there is a state trooper who, thank you for serving and protecting, but does not need to know about this vehicle. Just doesn't need to know anything about this vehicle. I'd love to not have to be behind that guy, but I think we're gonna have to be. We'll just keep some distance so we don't get any rock chips. See, this is the real commute, man. This is the real deal, because this is the kind of stuff you go through when you drive normal cars on normal roads at normal times. You have to watch out for the landscaper crews. GM has this miraculous way of building a lot of cars that you don't want, but then coming out with something just so insanely perfect like this. Like, we can get ahead of that car, and then I have tons of brakes to very safely and casually bring the speed back down. Like, what is going on? But they have this way of just building like a lot of cars you don't necessarily want, that you wouldn't buy, and then they build this, and they build like a Z06, and you're like, oh, like, you guys have the ability to make some of the most pleasing, pleasurable driving experiences on the planet. Do it more. Do that more. A great example of this, Blazer EV. when it came out, I was so disappointed with the driving experience. It felt clunky and weird and blah, 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 right? And I thought, well, I don't know how they're going to do with this Ultium platform on these kind of mid-range or low-level cars. You know, it's kind of in that $30,000 to $40,000 range, maybe more, maybe 50 if you option or whatever. But then they come out with the Blazer SS EV, and that car, it's focused on power and this and that, but really what they did in that car was they sorted out all the stuff that was junky about the base car. And so the Blazer SS solves all the suspension issues I had with the base car, and you're like, well, you knew how to do it. Just do it all the time. And I'm gonna cut over early. I know it's a little uncouth, but like everybody does it, and then you end up getting stuck up there. So we're gonna do this. See, the fella behind me did it. I love when it wakes up with a touch of the throttle. I'm sorry. This was traction on. Like, this is also what's cool about this car is the traction control in this car is pretty advanced. So what it doesn't do is it doesn't just lock you out when it senses wheel spin and shut it all down. It actually allows for a progression of slip and delivery of power. And I know we got some wind noise coming in, but I just, once in a while you got to hear this thing, and it's, oh my goodness. All right, there's the rev match button. And then, oh right, okay, the way this works is if you hit the rev match button, this turns yellow. Yes, it turns yellow. It's a really good rev match system, but is that a snake? Oh no, that snake got hit by a car. That's pretty upsetting. Okay, he's writhing. Well, that was disgusting. Sorry for that. I didn't hit him. I gotta tell you, this is crazy, and I'm saying this early in the video, but if you had 997 GT3 keys and these keys, like, I might be taking these keys. That's how good this is. Everything you interact with is just exactly what you want. That was not my best rev match. Listen to this thing. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get some photos of this thing, and then we go back on the road and make some noise. But oh my god, like, dude, you can just park. All right, hang on, I didn't even show you this car yet. We'll leave it running. Engage the parking brake. I love that GM parking brakes now are just a single button. You push on, you push off. That's all you need. You do not need a flap, because who the heck cares? If it's on, you want it off. If it's off, you want it on. Like, why do you don't need another button for that. Okay, let me just show you around this car, because that's ridiculous. It's just the most ridiculous thing. And if you know, you know. If you don't, it's just a car in the parking lot. It really is. I mean, you'd never look twice at this if you weren't really a car person. You might say, oh, that's a pre-spoiler or something like that. But if you know what this is, you're fully aware that it's a complete monster. It's a complete lunatic. And it's a Camaro ZL1 under the radar. Oh my God. All right, let me go do my job for a minute, get some photos, and then we'll get back on the road. Look, dude, I love it. My buddy who owns this car, he's like me. He's a complete lunatic. So like this is still on. Crazy people. I you know, it helps me know that I'm not alone when I see stuff like this. Like, look at. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. There's other people who are out of their minds too. So good. All right. I mean, I don't know if that's good. I mean, maybe it just means we all need therapy, but at least I'm not alone. All right, let's kill it, take some photos. It's kind of a brutal day to shoot this car. It's direct sunlight, it's a white car, although it is stealth wrapped, so it helps make it a little more matte, but whatever. We'll take a couple little photos with the Fujifilm just for the memories. These aren't the photos, but I don't know, I like photography, and despite the fact that I shoot so many photos, probably 1,000 photos a week, I still really just enjoy taking pictures of stuff, even if it's just for like my Instagram or something, you know, get kind of a fun shot of the seats with the carbon. That looks kind of cool. Maybe a little bit of this action with the stick there. That's nice. I've been starting to shoot things a little more closed in terms of aperture, because I'm so used to being like, oh man, you gotta get that sick bokeh with the f2 or the f2.8 or whatever you're shooting with. Well, sometimes it's fun to get the depth of the whole thing. That's all right. That's enough. We'll just do that. And of course the clouds come. Just as I'm saying it's been very difficult to shoot, interior shots have been a nightmare. They're just all shadows, and now the light's perfect, and I bet by the time I get my Sony camera out, the clouds will have lifted and we'll be back to square one. But I'm gonna give it a shot. Give me a minute. All right, I got it. I got the photos with the clouds, thank God. Oh my goodness, photography in New England. Super frustrating. But just so you know what's hanging onto the road here, we have a 275 section tire up front and a 305 section tire in the rear, and that is what puts all 668 horsepower down to the ground. Now, luckily, I did figure out how to turn off that HUD, the heads-up display. Let's get this started first. That do sound good, and that's not even the loud exhaust. Right here, this is very cool, sidetracked. There's an SD card reader, because this does all these funky camera things in order to be a track car. So if you wanted to go out and record your lap times on a racetrack with your car, you could do that. Let's see, I don't know. We're gonna find out if that holds up, because I'm gonna do a hard 1-2 shift and this may fly back, but we'll find out. I think I figured it out. GM is like the class clown who everyone thinks is acting out because they're like a troubled child and they're probably bad at school, but really they're bored because they're so intelligent that they need to be skipped ahead 2 or 3 grades. GM does some class clownish stuff that is occasionally disruptive and annoying, and you're like, why would they do this? I don't understand why they came out with that car or this car. This wasn't really the big success. But then when they focus, they hyper fixate on something. Corvette Z06, Corvette ZR1, Cadillac CT5-V Blackwing. Suddenly you're like, oh, that kid's a genius and should be in college. Huh. I just wish they applied it to every single thing they did, because I feel like the company could be so incredibly technically innovative in like every possible way, and we wouldn't be sitting here with 1 million or maybe over 800,000 recalled 6.2 or 6.3 liter V8s. I think it's a 6.2. I already forget what it is. But all the stuff in the Tahoe, Suburbans, and Escalades, all that stuff. We can do better. We can do better. They have the technology. This car is insane. Just a hint of supercharger wine. I bet there's some gnarly exhausts for this car that really wake it up and just put it all out there. But I don't think that's the vibe. I think the open exhaust setting right now is the vibe. I think that's what this car needs to be. It needs to be a little bit under the radar. It's the same reason I didn't really want to straight pipe my M5, because I think the M5 has that wolf in sheep's clothing thing going for it, and this absolutely has that as well. And if it's too showy, it's too obvious, then you lose that sensation. You need a big chunk of pavement to play with this car properly. See, I'm gonna catch that guy in like 2 seconds. I can't even use the second corner. This is warp speed, and I'm really excited to feel what this would be like on an RE71RS, because I'm on a Pilot Sport 4S right now, PS4S. That's sticky enough, but it is not a sticky tire. If we put 200 treadwear tires on this thing, this would decimate everybody at a racetrack, because even if your lighter car could outpace it in a corner, the second that corner opens up, you're feeding 668 horsepower into that throttle, and it's just gonna disappear. I don't want a lot of things. I really don't. But this car, every time I drive one, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the car. That's the thing I actually want. Let's hope nobody else decides to take this on-ramp late. Metzger, very cool plate on the turbo. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. And the suspension does some magic because it smooths everything out. It denoises the roads. This is a crappy road, and this road becomes a lot smoother and drivable because of this mag ride. And mag ride doesn't always mean perfect. Like, you drive in a Tahoe or a Yukon Denali or something on big wheels, and it's got mag ride and air shocks and all that kind of stuff, and they can still be harsh because they put the wrong wheels and tires on them. But this is the example. This is the benchmark of, like, this is what happens when you just do it perfectly. That right there is a pretty magical thing, to be able to get on the highway like that. I'd pay for this fuel. I wouldn't ever complain about efficiency in this car, even if I was getting like 10 miles per gallon, because I feel like I actually got the enjoyment out of it. I actually felt it. Just try to be reasonable getting on the highway. Well, it's the perfect car. I love it very much. And it has brightened my day. I woke up this morning feeling a little anxious, a little stressed out, a little overwhelmed. But now I feel good. I feel happy. And I kind of got a little bit of the crazies out. Just a couple 1, 2, 3s in this thing is all the medication you need to stay reasonable and sane and ready to interact with other human beings in your life. The number of cars I would choose this over, I think, is staggering, because I would choose this over some serious heavy hitter German metal. I think if I had to live day to day with a car, I just would have this over a 911. I know that's insane. It's insane, but like, it's not as pretty as those cars, but it brings joy. This car feels like it just dives into your soul and picks out what your real feelings are. Not what you say your feelings are, but what your real feelings are. What do you need? What do you want? And everyone's like a little shy. Oh, I just need this. Oh no, I don't need much. No, what you need is a supercharged V8 with 668 horsepower and a 60-speed manual that you can just thrash. And sometimes I don't speak up for myself enough, and this car does it for me. In a world of turbos that require time to spool exhaust gases, no, this is a belt-driven supercharger. Yeah, man, she goes immediately. See, that's a car that brings people joy. People love C30s. They're a little goofy, they're a little crazy, but they have a cool engine, that T5, even though they're a nightmare to work on. So, I'm gonna go return this. I had a lovely day. This was really good. I highly recommend buying it if you're in the market for something silly, and if you need a one-car solution that is both a daily driver commuter 4-door thing that can go anywhere, bring the kids to soccer practice, bring the luggage to the weekend trip, but also go on a track day and keep up with all your friends and their Porsches, their fancy $200,000 Porsches on the streets up in Vermont, New Hampshire, or in the canyons in California, or on those long stretches of road out in Montana and Wyoming or Idaho. Boy, this does it all. So, thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.